C10 Talk, episode 133. Down in Mississippi, Southern Hospitality, Dead End Garage, 3rd annual Crawfish Cruise-In.
I guess the best word to describe that is I'm very humbled. Humbled that all the people that came here from all kind of everywhere you can imagine. I mean, you had California people, Arizona, Nebraska, Tennessee. It just humbles me for the people that come that far away to see this kind of backyard. It's basically just a backyard thing that's just grown what it is today. But I hope everybody left with a good taste of the South, a good taste of some good old Southern hospitality, and what family and friends is all about.
Damn, son.
When you think air suspension for your build, you think AccuAir. Whether it's the ease of their plug-and-play installation, the E-Level touchpad, or their new Endo platform, it's better by design, and it's zero compromise for you and your truck. AccuAir.
Whether you're looking to replace your original steering, update those old brakes, or improve your suspension and handling, Classic Performance Products has got your classic truck covered. Check them out at classicperform.com. That's classicperform.com.
When it comes to upgrading your truck's gauges, look no further than Dakota Digital and their wide selection of direct fit instrument systems. Hit up dakotadigital.com for more information. If you're looking for aftermarket parts for your C10 truck, Pro Performance is your go-to source. They carry the top brands for wheels, brakes, suspension, and accessories. Check them out on the web at azproperformance.com. That's azproperformance.com.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 truck podcast. Here's your host, Ronnie Wetch.
All right. Man, did we have a good time. I love meeting the new peeps, and we jumped on a plane. My wife and I headed out to first Houston, and then jumped over to Gulfport and Biloxi, and got to hang out in Mississippi for a few days. The Dead End Garage 3rd annual Crawfish Cruise-In absolutely exceeded my expectations. We had a really good time. We got in and headed right to the racetrack. So the Deadhead crew had some go-kart racing set up, and I know Jason was a little worried about the rain, but it all worked out, and that seems to kind of be the trend the last at least, this year, and you factor in LST and these different shows. I know Terry and Mark just dealt with it over in the Wax with their first Classic Truck Nationals, and the weather's just being a pain, but we lucked out. So Friday, we got in and went right to the race track, the go-karts, and it was open throttle. It was wide open, have fun, hauling ass. We did 3 races, and they kept the times, and this one guy, Chase, won. He had a little background in kart racing, but what a way to kick off an event. Definitely brings people to closer, and some people you don't know, and there's all these dudes hanging out, and you're racing, and you're rubbing, and you're bumping, and you're grinding, and nobody got hurt. We had a lot of fun, and that's the way we started it out Friday, and then Saturday was the Crawfish Cruise-In. Southern hospitality. I mean, I never really had any exposure to crawfish or eating crawfish, and just everything that went on. So you'll kind of hear that in the episode, and as time goes. Another thing, as I listen to some of the interviews, it's funny to hear myself. A little alcohol gets absorbed throughout the day at these fun family style shows, and a little different than when I'm hanging out at Dino's, because Dino's, kind of a no alcohol. He says no alcohol, but the get down's no alcohol, whereas there was plenty of alcohol flowing at the Crawfish Cruise-In. His wife, Jason's wife, Angela, had a little Bloody Mary bar, and there's Jim Beam, which, and then there's Corona and Modelo, and bottom line is a lot of good refreshments. And it's funny to hear myself go through as I'm talking and interviewing these guys. I can kind of pick it up, especially post interview. But that was it. We had an amazing time, and I just want to thank Jason and Angela and the Deadhead crew and everybody out there. We were blessed to have a fun, safe trip and get home. Now, we did have a little snafu. Houston, they shut Houston down. So because of the rain again, they shut the major storm, shut Houston down, delayed our flight from Gulfport to Houston a few hours, like 3 or 4 hours, and then really pushed us back, almost missing our flight in Houston. I think we were supposed to get home in Phoenix right around 3. We ended up getting home, I think, about 1 a.m. So, but we actually lucked out because the flight we initially grabbed in Houston to get home to Phoenix was ended up getting canceled, and we had gotten on a secondary one, which I guess benefited us because we got home that night. But you're gonna have snafus. That's part of it. It was just a good time, so I wanted to thank them for their southern hospitality. A few things to run by you here. So, Brothers Trucks 21st annual show and shine. Now they hadn't had the park. And then they came up with June 16th, which was Father's Day. Well, I don't know if I haven't talked to them yet, but I don't know. I'm assuming because maybe they didn't get quite the response. Because it was Father's Day, they moved it so they were able to free up a different date on the park, and that's going to be July 7th. So July 7th is now the Brothers Show and Shine. So that event has moved from June 16th to July 7th. So mark that on your calendars. Brothers 21st Annual Show and Shine. And then, so kind of rewind a little bit back to May 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to get a hold of the 3 different event promoters for not only LS Fest West, but Battle in Bama, and then the C10 National. So I'm going to try to put a quick bonus show together, hopefully drop this week, Friday or Saturday. We'll see what kind of time I get and if I can coordinate that with those guys. The chassis C10, the Chassis Tech Chassis Series, I still have one hanging, and that's the GSI. So that will be out next week. That's my goal. So we'll get the Mississippi Crawfish Cruise out today. A little bonus in between there with some of the shows coming up May 3, 4, 5. And then the GSI Chassis 10 Tech that we'll have. That'll be the 4th one out of the series of 9 total that we had. Theirs, because they came by and stopped in, ended up being a little longer, actually like 2 hours long. So I need to go through that. I just had not had the time, and I'll get that out to you guys. That's it. I'm going to let you just get into it and listen to the interviews from the Mississippi Dead End Garage 3rd Annual Crawfish Cruise-In. If you have the chance and you can make it out next year, I highly recommend it because I think there's going to be some changes where it's going to get pretty big. But nonetheless, good times, great people, and cool trucks all around. That's it. You guys have a great week. Happy Easter. Easter is this Sunday. Hopefully you're hanging out with friends and family, and everything's going good. All right, guys. Have a great week. Late. Crawfish Cruising 2019, starting it out. We got Jason. We got
Jason Lowry.
Jason and Jason.
Jeff Simpson.
Oh, Jeff Simpson.
C10 Club,
yeah,
Mississippi.
C10 Club, Mississippi. C10 Club, Mississippi. Woo! All right. So, first of all, this thing, the color on this thing is going to draw anybody in. Whatever you're doing, you're thinking about this color right now. What bezels are those?
You would not believe what those are. Those are actually 78, 79 Firebird marker lights.
So you did Firebird marker lights on the truck. I've seen that. Like, what's his face? Marquez or somebody like that. Is that what they are?
No, they're
You just made your own?
No, they're straight up Firebird marker lights.
Okay, so a Firebird not 78, 68, 69.
Yes.
Now, let's go back to Jason. So we're getting out of control. The music's pumping. We're having a good time. We just filled our bellies full of crawfish. Spicy, yummy, not spicy, hot. I roll up this truck. He's got it looks like a 68 step side, but in fact it's not. So I'm going to let Jason talk about it a little bit. And Jeff, stay here because you built the damn thing. So you tell me about your truck and what you think about it.
Well, first I started with a 69. We bought a 69, and we took us, about 3-4 months, Jeff, to find something? Yes. Then we decided just to keep that one and then start fresh with a brand new frame, because I originally wanted a 72 truck.
You just wanted a 72.
72.
All right.
So I wanted a 72. But I hated the flat front on the hood, so.
Hate is a strong word. I don't like. I prefer.
I would prefer a 68 hood, so we bought that hood and actually we went through about 3 hoods, didn't we, Jeff? We went through a lot of parts. So once we started putting it together, I don't know, that's what it came up with.
So what about the GMC, grill? I mean, was it a GMC or do you just
Chevrolet.
like that hood? You like that grill?
I like the 2 headlights. So that's
So he wants it all. He wants a 72 frame because he was born in 72, but he likes a 68 hood, and then he likes the GMC 4 headlights. So Jason has really kind of a Frankenstein here. And as you're listening to this, you're like, this truck just sounds like a bucket of fuck, but it's not. It's absolutely stunning. What color did you paint it, Jeff?
This is actually overcast off a 2017 Escalade.
Escadinale?
Escadinale.
This is a beautiful color. And then you've kind of got like a pewter style of a GMC grill with like a mesh insert, and I'll take a picture of it. And then the factory bumper that's probably pulled in just a scotch.
Just a scotch, no bumper bolts. The satin gray is actually wool gray from the coatingstore.com.
That's a free plug.
Free plug, coatingstore.com. That's who I use on all my products.
One-piece window. We come around. Well, no, let's stay in front here. Now, what motor you got?
This is a 5.3 LS1 intake. It's got LS simple brackets, your typical, headers. Really nothing done internally on the motor, but backed up with a 4L80 on the transmission.
So why would you do a 5.3 with a 4L80?
No particular reason. It's just a combo that I had sitting there, and that's what we went with.
Now, the 4L80 is pretty much bomb-proof, but just because if I'm listening at home, I'm thinking, well, should I consider upgrading to a 4L80 over a 4L60? I mean, I think a 4L60 is just as good, right? I mean, well, not just as good. 4L80 is bomb-proof. You just happen to have a 4L80.
Just happened to be. That worked out good.
Jason, how long have you had this? Have you done a lot of shakedown with it?
We've had it probably 2.5 years. We're still in process of doing a few things on it, but hopefully be ready here really soon and be totally complete.
Well, and the invisible bed floor is amazing. How did you come up with that?
Hey, one off. It's all custom.
That thing, it's like Wonder Woman's lasso or her jet. I couldn't see anything. I was like, holy shit. Well, let's walk back. He's got factory hood hinges on there. Now the cow's been like slightly shaved. It's instead of, I would say, 4 to 5 louver holes, there's only 2 with the same mesh insert that comes from the grill, correct? Okay.
And if you look straight down, the 2 bars, which is virtually usually 4, matches the actual defrost vents into the dash.
Overload. So the dash, the interior. Now, one thing about the interior that's a little different is on a 67 to 72, not only your gauge bezel and your glove box door, they have a lip. There is no lip. So you're not going to get any lip out of these two. They're not going to they're not going to back talk. No lip. What was your thought on that?
The whole thing is to keep the dash, and for people that would walk by and not really notice that something's different, but when you did actually stand there and look at it, there's a lot done to the dash. There's no dash pad. The whole center section of the dash has been changed. Like we said, we used another glove box for the gauges. No speaker grill on the top of the dash. No factory defrost vents. And actually used a non-AC dash so we could custom make the whole dash.
You've got 2 vent louvers, so where you're on a 67 to 72 on your center AC vent, they've got kind of a mini version of the left and right balls, can adjust and move towards you. And then I'm assuming temperature control there in the middle where you would normally have your radio, and then your thermostat control would be on the bottom. It looks like air gauges.
Yeah, air gauges. And back to the top center vents, that was just to play off the 65, 66, how they are in a top center with a double ball.
So, Jason, to the right where you've got like a kind of a pole tog there underneath there, is that your headlight?
USB charger.
Yeah. Underneath the gauges.
Headlights on one side,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so headlights on one side and wipers on the other.
So a lot of custom work.
Usually on top of the panel. Yeah. But
Top right, usually. So you got Hot Rod by Boyd. You've got the killer, I don't know, 14-inch steering wheel? Is that 15? It looks small.
I think it's 14.
14 Hot Rod by Boyd wheels. These things are beautiful. They look like something that's sitting in the AZ Pro Performance showroom right now. You've got, are these Eddie Motorsports handles?
And we got, all your, Eddie Motors, Billet Specialties, Terry from Gulf Coast Upholstery did all the upholstery, custom door panels.
Snowden seat?
No
seat.
It's actually, it actually came from Seats.com that got recovered.
Is that another shameless plug, Jeff?
Definitely not.
All right.
Square weave on the carpet. Something else different on the interior is if you sit in the seat of a newer vehicle and you look around you, it's all the same color. So something that a lot of people don't notice is the actual door jamb of the face on the inside of the door is two-tone for that reason, that when you shut the door, you see the same wool gray satin that flows throughout this whole truck. It's all gray.
And honestly, until he said that, I didn't realize it. So he's got his overcast exterior paint, but then he does have a significant line so that the inside of the door, the dash, the glove box, all the interior metal is the darker wool gray that the bumper is. So that's tastefully done. Big back window, stepper. That's right. Sometimes I get these questions like, how come steppers aren't popular? They are popular if you like steppers. Some people prefer steppers. And then right in the back, we're looking down. It's got a drive line that's as huge as could be. And then that invisible, is that an oak invisible wood? What kind of wood is that?
We can make it whatever, clear oak.
You did that's some clear oak. You can only get that in Louisiana or Mississippi. Clear oak.
Exactly.
High-end stuff. Have you guys had this out to any shows, Jason? Are you getting ready to go to Battle Alabama?
We'll be at Battle Alabama. This will be the second year at Battle Alabama. And we also be the second year at C10s in the Park. And second year at Seton, Southeastern Truck Nationals.
In Tennessee. Now, where are you based out of, Jason?
I live here in Biloxi.
Biloxi. It's a Biloxi build. How long did this guy take you guys, Jeff?
This build probably took a year and a half to this point until we finished that invisible bedwood.
Yeah. Oh, so that's not done? It looks good. That's the best invisible bedwood I ever saw.
Please check it out.
Check out the back.
So what has the response been when you've seen people and they come up to you and they look at your truck?
Response from me or response from them?
From them and then you.
Well, they like it and they ask a bunch of questions just like you are. So
they don't have a mic in your face.
I always pull Jeff in to help me answer the questions.
You just pay the bills?
That's right.
You know that you like a 72 with a 68 with the GMC 4. So let's go look at the back. All right. So he's got a step side tailgate, which is completely smooth. He's got very thin brake lights, tail lights, no blinkers, left or right, no chains, all very, very tastefully done. Antique truck plate with the flip down for the fuel, but no, there can't be no fuel because the fuel is in the top. But I'm thinking so he can hook up and he can pump up his tires. He's got a little port for air. But then I'm thinking the clear floor, the bed floor, he's got a fuel filler that we can. That's what's so nice about the clear is we can access that so easy.
Easy access.
Easy access. All right. Well, hey, do you got a name for this thing, Jason?
Backstepping.
Backstepping?
Yeah.
That's why you got backstepping on your shirt?
Yeah, that's right.
Why backstepping?
Because we kept going back like 3 times to do each part on the truck, so it took us longer than normal to build the truck.
Well, I think normal depends because one thing you're gonna find out real quick is what we think and what actually is gonna happen. Now, another thing I just noticed is you do have, Jeff, you guys put kind of a little mini inner fender on this because with a stepper you're not going to really need that, but because you guys are running like 24 12s, what are those things?
We got 22 by 12s in the rear, so the rear end did get cut 2 inches on each side, which caused me to mini tub it. And back to like what you said on the tailgate, it's got the rear long LED lights, and it's actually to mimic the marker lights that are on the side. So you have your long marker light, and then in the rear you have the long tail light to make it all flow together. And then looking forward from the bed, a lot of people don't notice is the whole back bottom of the wall behind the back glass is completely shaved. The reason being that it's shaved is obviously sometime in its life on the cab, the bed probably hit the cab, and everybody knows about that real faint body line that goes underneath the back glass. It's real hard to fix. So to change that up, I shaved the whole back wall because on a step side, if you stand in from the side and you look at it, you see the half of an indent. Well, now when you look into there, it is completely smooth from one side to the other.
So we happen to just be sitting right next to another GMC step side, and you guys can picture that. If you took a cab off, a 67 to 72 cab, and you look at it, you are going to have a body line that's put in there. Now, going back to my buddy Paul Hitch, the reason why they did that is the designers like smooth, the engineers like, they like structure, and they're going to get that. So, Jeff, no wonder we backstepped, Jason, because you let Jeff do all this crazy shit. I mean, he's like, well, symmetrical to the brake light or the AC vents of the dash, and then the 69, 68, 69 marker lights. So you got a lot of symmetrical stuff going on here. It's a rad truck, back step. Where can they find you so they can see this thing on Instagram?
You can go to C10 Mississippi. You can also go to Jason Lowry on my Instagram.
So is that like Lowry, L-A or L-O?
W-E-R-Y. Or J-Rods, Jeffro J-Rods.
Jeffro J-Rods.
Jeffro _J-Rods.
Jeffro J-Rods or Lowry, L-O, not L-A. Yeah, W-R-E-Y. Is that right? E-R-Y. Erie. All right, that's it. We're out. We're going to the next truck. There's probably about, Jeff, what do you think? Your C10 Club Mississippi, this is kind of one of your, if not your biggest event. This is, one of your biggest events. How many trucks are here today?
I would say minimum of 100. And last year we only had about 40. So we're doing pretty awesome.
I'm going to go 80, and then we're going to have a little arm wrestling bet to see if there's truly 100 here.
It's on. It is on.
All right, you heard it. Late. I think I like classy junk. Don't take that the wrong way. But when I saw Jacqueline's truck, I'm drawn to it. So there's a lot of a variety here at the Crawfish Cruise-In. And this thing just screams. It screams to me. It speaks to me. Got the F-bomb there. I didn't notice that earlier. So we've got a 66 GMC Rust Ease _ Customs.
66.
Oh, 66. Hence, Jacqueline's got this truck, two-tone. It's kind of a burnt, old-school, reddish color with the white on the upside of the top side of the bed, and then two-tone white cab. A lot of class. Where did this truck come from?
It actually came out of Alabama. So.
And you were looking for this style? Are you a 60 to 66 girl, or what were you looking for?
I wanted to get a C10, and I wanted to get rid of the Blazer we had. So we started looking, and this guy wanted a Blazer, and I wanted a truck, and he had one for trade, so we got it.
What kind of Blazer?
I don't even remember what year, honestly.
It wasn't an old Blazer.
It was a 70s, but I don't remember what year exactly.
So, I mean, did you fall in love with this? What was your thought? I'm turning down my volume. I think I'm peaking here. What was your thought when you found this thing?
The first picture I saw was of the roof, and it was like, it's over. I want that truck right now. We have to have it.
So, to describe from an audio perspective, I don't even know what it calls because I'm not a painter or what it's called but when somebody will lay like an old blanket, they shoot it, and then they take the blanket, a pattern off, and then they've cleared it. So she has the white roof, and it's not a real deep white. It's kind of a bone white, but then it has like a red underlaid quilt pattern to it. I'll take a picture, and it definitely speaks to you. It's got character. GMC fleet side tailgate. You guys obviously did some pinstripe, and then did you do all the fab and raise the floor bed and everything?
We didn't. We changed a couple of the things on the suspension. We lowered it a little more, but it's pretty much like this when we got it. So.
What suspension was in it? Do you know?
I don't know.
A low one?
Yeah, it's bagged and dropped. So
what are you using? Manual switches?
No, it actually has an AccuAir remote.
Do you have a little phone remote, or do you have just a handheld remote? Okay, cool. Now, GMC, cool thing about GMC, you got a little bit different gauge, small back window. You guys put a big block in it. So did it not have a motor when you got it?
It didn't have a motor or a transmission when we got it.
So you put a big block with what tranny, do you know?
A 700 R4.
Oh boy. Be careful. Be careful.
It's going to get a 4L80E eventually, but this is just to get it running for now, so.
So do you drive it a lot, or did you kind of get it to this point for this show, and then I think you said you're going to be at Battle Alabama next?
We're going to be in Battle Alabama next. We tried to get it running for this one. We ran out of time. We have to break in the cab, and then it should be on the road. So tearing up the highway for sure.
So when you do this work, Jacqueline, is it you? Who's helping you?
It's me, my boyfriend Brad, and my dad usually. We work on it. My dad grew up doing cars and worked in a race shop for years.
So what's the Rusties?
It's just an old rusty truck, and it's just easy living Rustin. So
Did you come up with that name?
It was actually the guy that we bought it from. Their son named the truck, and when we met him, their kids were in the car, and the last thing they asked is please don't change the name, and how could I?
Now, had it already been pinstriped and named like that? Okay, so that makes sense. So let's walk around here. No bumper right yet, but definitely a lot of characters. She's dumped all the way down. Coming out of the front side of the bed, they've got dual exhaust coming out. You got Gage Customs on the door. Now, I think you said you're going to change that up.
Correct. My grandparents owned a parts shop in Pascagoula, and we're going to change it to J&M Auto Parts on the side of the door.
Pasca what?
Pascagoula. It's in Mississippi.
All right, Pascagoula, Mississippi. I haven't seen that before, but I think that's pretty cool. So they've got like an old school brown Budweiser bottle upside down, and it fits perfect in the fuel cell filler. That's tastefully done. Who made these seats?
Iron Ace made these seats.
They don't look comfortable.
You'd be shocked sitting in them. They're very comfortable.
All right, I will take you up. The bottom has an old school leather, but then a metal back, all shaped. We got cup holders, GMC stock steering wheel, GMC stock horn button. You might want to watch those. They're about $150. I might take that.
No, you can't have that one. I like that one.
It's pretty rad. Cool gauges. Who did the gauges? Got some Dolphin gauges inset in the stock bezel. Did you guys do that?
No, we actually had the gauges. They never hooked them up, so I contacted Dolphin Gauges and got all the wires. They're hooked up fully now.
Okay, so inside is perfect. I love a fawn. No speaker holes cut. We've got it's really well done, and then the cool pattern on top is I got to do a picture. That's one of those things where sometimes audio just doesn't do justice. Coming around, big block. They've got the hood off of the truck right now. It just looks massive in there. Did you have a big block laying around, or what was your thoughts on a big block?
Originally when we got the truck, we were going to put a 350 in it, and I just was not happy with that. I wanted a big, nasty motor and a big, nasty truck. I wanted it to go places, so I decided I wanted a big block, and we bought one, and we rebuilt it from scratch.
So she's got different heads, stock heads, different pistons. Just went through it. What'd you guys do?
We went through it. It's got the stock heads. We redid the springs. We have upgraded pistons. Pretty much everything's upgraded. A stock. We changed the intake for a racing intake. It's all pretty hefty.
Oh, it looks good. HEI ignition. I don't see if it's an Edelbrock intake, but it is an intake. Edelbrock intake. They got a brand new alternator. Do you know what front pulley system? Because you've got the serpentine system on there.
It's actually kind of funny. We got it out of Texas when we were there for Lone Star Throwdown. A guy was selling it for $50. It came off of a 97.
Well, you did a good job because that's a serpentine system. And then, do you know what headers those are?
We actually got them off of eBay. We were really cheap, but they are beautiful. So they work perfect and they fit really good.
Probably Chinese, but they look good. It's got a Champion radiator, GMC grill, white front bumper. This thing just screams rad. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to see it. You're going to be at Battle Alabama. I actually think I'm going to go to Battle Alabama. I'm trying to decide, but I think I need to get out there. This thing's really well done. So you've got a few more things you're going to do to it. Maybe switch up the tranny. Take it easy because that 700R4 is going to give you not going to be your friends if you don't. Anything else that you're really looking forward to that you want to tell the C10 Nation about?
I'm just excited to get it running and start tearing up the road with it. So,
what's the response been bringing it out to a show like this?
It's pretty awesome since we got here. I mean, there's been 7 or 8 people here every time we come over here, and everybody loves it. Everybody just can't stop raving about it. It's great.
So, will you do the C10 Quattro since you're already here? You're going to go to Battle Alabama. We'll see you up in Tennessee as well?
Yes, we'll actually make all 5 of the meets with this truck.
Awesome. You guys might be in I don't know what you get if you go to all 5. I know you got to go to 4 of the 5. I'll have to bring Nick on and talk to him.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. So it's rustease_66. You can check it out. I'll take a couple pictures. The thing's rad, and it screams character. I hope you have a lot of fun driving this. Background music is provided by Bon Jovi.
Thank you.
Late. C10 Nation. Let me tell you about my buddies Travis, his dad Jack, a.k.a. Dad, and Nick. They run Pro Performance, AZ Pro Performance. They're active in our community. They're C10 guys. They're always working on new stuff, like their new suspension line, React Suspension. They're master dealers for AccuAir, Dakota Digital, Bear, Boyd Welding, Vintage Air, and many more. They're C10 specialists and stock many fast-moving products backed by their stellar customer service. Not only do they sell C10 parts, but they live and breathe C10s and are very active in our community. Like I said, look for them at your next truck show. Nick might be there if they let him out, but usually Travis and his dad, Jack, and they want to talk to you and help you out with your C10 project. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and you can also check out their Facebook group called C10 Addiction. So check them out and let them know that I sent you. You've heard me talk about my gauges, Dakota Digital. I love them. Don't forget the interior of your build. Dakota Digital has the best gauges for our trucks. Whether you want a direct fit into the stock bezel or something custom. These kits are complete with sensors for any engine. The new RTX series is really incredible. I think it stands for retro, but it should stand for rad. They look just like the stock clusters, but have all the technology you'd expect from Dakota Digital. You can change the lighting colors, customize the reading in the message centers, and do it all from the mobile app. That's right, the HDX and RTX series have Bluetooth technology, so you can mess with them from your phone. Just don't do it while you're driving. I mean, literally, I can have Yellowstone. I'm looking at RPM, trip odometer, percent fuel, oil pressure, and now I have the GPS set up. I can tell you direction, elevation, and even outside temp. Damn, son, it's like a modern truck, but even better in a classic. Dakota Digital is absolutely the best in aftermarket gauges, so check them out at dakotadigital.com. dakotadigital.com. And you can follow them on Instagram and Facebook too. I'm going to drop a damn, son, because every time this guy plays a song, we got Bon Jovi on in the background. So we got Big Nick, C10 Club Louisiana, C10s of the South, C10 Quattro, and we're sitting in the shade. We are at the Dead End Garage. I've got a beer here. I thought I would talk to Nick about the C10 Quattro. So there's 5 events, but if you get 4 of them, you qualify for what is a cool little tailgate bench, potentially a $500 gift card through Dead End Garage. And then what's Craig have from Battle Alabama?
Right now from Craig, we got a $500 cash prize.
Cash, certificate, and or tailgate.
And we might even have some more stuff. So if there's anybody out there that wants to donate to it, get with me, let me know. But we've been reaching out. We got some other people that are saying they want to do some stuff. So it's all still coming together. As soon as I get the information and it's confirmed, we pass it along.
I'm going to throw in a $100 gift certificate for C10 Talk or C10 Nation. So they can, I would just say a shirt and a hat and all that, but I never know sizes, right? Because we don't know who the winner is going to be. So I'll just give you a $100 gift certificate, and then the winner can have, pick whatever he wants, or she. Melanie's looking at me like there's she's out there too. So tell us a little bit about this journey of the C10 Quattro and what your thought was. This is the first stop. This is my first exposure to pretty much any truck show, I guess, east of the Mississippi, in Mississippi. Am I east of the Mississippi right now? Okay, good. Whew. Melanie's looking at me again. So, yeah, I usually just say past or east of Texas. So tell the C10 Nation about C10 Quattro. See, what you guys got going on, what your thoughts are.
So C10 Quattro, we just come up with the idea because, they had the Triple Crown out when they did Dino's Brothers in California and then C10s in the park. And we're like, man, we can't drive way out there. We want to, but it's just impossible for some of us. So it's like, all right, well, let's do our thing over here in the Southeast. So we got together. is actually Jeff Simpson, C10 Club Mississippi. He's the one that really found the big interest in it and came to us and was like, hey, you know, let's work on something. Let's do something together. Let's do something for our guys. So, I mean, it's for anybody, but, you know, it's mainly focused over here. And it really started out, it was going to be 4 shows. And then we had another guy, I think it was Craig Riley, is actually coming up with a new show this year. It's going to be December 13th, 14th, 15th in Houma, Louisiana. It's called the Grand Finale. So down here, there's no shows. Usually towards the end of November, that's the end of the show season down here for us. We got some crazy weather. Sometimes it gets cold. It might be 70 degrees today. Next week, we might have 4 inches of snow. It's weird. So there ain't too much that goes on down here in December, and everybody's wanting to get together. It's usually so hot in the summer down here. Some of the shows are miserable. So we're like, all right, this one's going to be probably in some better weather. So that's coming up. Like I said, that's going to be in December 13th, 14th, 15th, the grand finale in Houma, Louisiana. It's also going to be our toy drive. So bring a toy for Toys for Tots, and we're going to give you a discount on the entry into the grand finale. So other events we got, like Ronnie said, we're here right now at the Crawfish Ball at Dead End Garage. Up next is Battle in Bama, which I put on C10s of the South. It's pretty much tell somebody it's a show inside of a show. So you pay 1 entry fee, you're entered into Battle in Bama, you come park over C10s of the South, and that's just for the C10. Same rule as C10 Club. You know, 47, 87, C10s, panels, Suburbans, GMC trucks. You know, y'all know what it is. If you're listening to this, you know. So,
You know.
So you got that. That's May 3rd through 5th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, and that's also tacos on the Battleship. So if you pre-registered, you get to eat tacos on the USS Alabama that night. They have a live DJ, all the tacos you eat till they run out. It's pretty cool. So you got that. After that is Brian Ashley's show, Southeastern Truck Nationals in White House, Tennessee. That's a really good show. We went last year for the first time. There's also a swap meet there. Found some really cool stuff. Yeah, had 500 trucks there last year. So if you got anybody out that way, y'all need to come to that.
So I'm going to interrupt Nick real quick because Brian, one time I said, I think it was at Dino's, I said, yeah, I think it's like the biggest C10 show east of the Mississippi. And he gave me a look, which Brian is probably one of the, like, he's just a big, gentle Labrador, right? He's just a nice guy. And I thought he was going to rip my head off. He's like, oh, no, it is. So I think it's confirmed through Mr. Ashley, who is a peace officer, that we have to trust him and believe him, that is, in fact, the biggest C10 gathering or show east of the Mississippi. Now, I don't know what kind of numbers you're looking at for C10s of the South, which will be Battle Alabama, but nonetheless, the Southeastern Truck Nationals, the 3rd show in White House, Tennessee, and I'll let you continue.
Yeah, like you were saying, Battle Alabama, I think we had 250 C10s there last year. Hoping to double that this year. So after Southeastern Truck Nationals in Tennessee, the next event of the Quattro is the Black Creek Raj. That's Jeffrey Key. He does a lot of the AD truck stuff. That's November 2nd, 2019 in Purvis, Mississippi. That's a real good laid back. It's called the Grill and Chill. He's got a big, giant barbecue trailer with the big old pits. They're out there cooking ribs, brisket, pulled pork, and it doesn't cost you anything for that. You come out there, get something to eat, hang out. They had live music last year. It's really laid back. It's at his house. It's in the woods. Plenty of parking, kind of like what we got here at the Crawfish Ball. It's just all this is just really great atmospheres. This is what it's all about. This is what we love to do. So yeah, that's November 2nd. And then, like I said earlier, the grand finale is the last event. That's the event we're going to give the awards away. It's 13th through the 15th this year in Houma, Louisiana, the grand finale. Also our Toys for Tots toy drive, which is going to be a few different states. Be Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeehaw!
probably some guys from Tennessee, some guys maybe from Georgia. So if y'all want to do a toy drive and you're looking for a place, bring it on down to Grand Finale. So help out some kids, and you get a discount if you bring a toy into the entry fee. Like we said, it's called the Quattro because you attend 4 out of the 5, and that's what you get. You get entered into the pot for the prizes. Like I said, we got this tailgate bench that was built by Jeff Simpson. Really want to thank him. So we're taking this tailgate bench to every one of the events of the Quattro, and we're getting, if you got a sticker for your state, some guys have stickers of their trucks made. Some guys run, C10 related businesses. Slap it on here. If you don't have any of that, come sign your name. This is going to be like a keepsake. Later on down a few years, somebody comes to your house. Man, what's that? Bro, he did that. That was C10 Quattro in 2019. You went to these 4 out of 5 shows. I won that. So something we come up with is pretty cool. Square box.
Do they need to register to kind of prove that their existence, and then you guys will have a kind of a post up everywhere. So check in, boom, number 1, and so on and so forth. Do they get increased odds? Can they buy tickets? Is it 1 ticket per show? How does it work?
So everybody that came today to the Crawfish Ball, we have a booth set up. We got a C10 Quattro banner. We're out here. You can't miss us. You come up here. Melanie, my wife's been working the desk. She's doing a terrific job. Come up here. You get a registration card. That card has an image of the flyer for each show, and it's got the dates on there, so you can't ever say, I forgot. No, it's on that card. You're responsible for keeping track of that card. You lose that card, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you another one. Hold on to it. You get a stamp at each event that you come to. You have to bring the same truck. So I know some of y'all out there got 5 to 10 C10s. It's got to be the same truck. It just makes it fair for the guy that only has one. So bring the same one to each event. If you got more than one vehicle, and your wife can bring one, or your kid can have another one, your neighbor can drive it, but you need to bring that same one to each event. So you come, you sign up. So today at the Crawfish Ball, and then at Battle in Bama, Battle in Bama is going to be your last chance to sign up because there's only 4 left at that point. So after that, you're out of the running. So you had to have at least came here today, or you got to come to Battle at Bama to be in the running. So like we said, you'll bring that card with you. You'll get it stamped at each event. At the Grand Finale, you'll turn it in. We'll put it in a bucket, probably go live on Facebook or Instagram, throw all the names in a bucket, and start drawing names. And what we'll probably do is first place, we'll get the tailgate bench, and then whatever else we get, we might say, okay, you can pick what you want. I think that's just kind of fair.
Yeah, you draw out of the name, you're the first guy. I say you let that guy pick. You want the bench, you want the 500, whatever. I'm wondering, what do you do if you bring your wife, she drives one of your trucks, and then your girlfriend too? So you have 3 trucks and maybe a kid. You got 4 chances to win. Where are you guys going to be set up at Battle in Bama? I'm assuming the C10s of the South, you'll be parked up there because they got to know, right? If they're not here and they're listening to the show, they got to get to Battle in Bama, which I'm sure 250 to 500 trucks are going to be C10 of the South. You're going to have a lot of people. They're going to be like, damn, son, I need to get to the Battle in Bama, and I need to make sure I get the other 3 events.
So when you come to Battle in Bama, you're going to come in through the main entrance. There's going to be a lady at the main gate, and she's collecting all the entry fee for every vehicle that comes in. You'll check in right there, and we will have people, representatives of C10 Quattro, placed in the driving lanes directing you where to go. So just listen to those people. They'll probably be wearing I'm trying to get some weird color shirts so we stand out. Have C10 Quattro staff on them. Keep an eye out for those guys. Follow them. So you're going to come in the park. You'll go all the way around. If you just look up USS Alabama Battleship Park in Mobile, Google map it, and you can see. I'm going to produce a map, too, that'll have a little driving arrows, tell y'all where to go. But you'll come in there, and then we have our own section. Another thing we're doing this year is $1 Million Row, C10 $1 Million Row.
Hold on, $1 Million Row or $1 Million Road?
$1
Million Row. All right, row. Like row your boat.
Yeah, row your boat.
Or your canoe if you're going to LST.
Yeah, like the one that It's on top of Yellowstone. Hopefully we don't get any rain. So don't bring your canoe. Don't jinx us. So, yeah, C10 $1 million row. That is going to be high dollar, flashy, best of the best. Craig's and already picked these guys out that are guaranteed that are coming, and they get this. He's got some stuff planned out. You got to come to see it. It's pretty cool. I can't release no details, but it's $1 million row. So you'll drive past those guys, and we had Soki Classics, Southern Kentucky Classics is bringing the big old trailer. So that's another thing. If you need anything from him and you're coming to this event, save on some shipping. Send him a message. Let him know what you want. He'll bring it down for you.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, but just letting y'all know. So, yeah, he's sponsoring us, so I'm giving him a shout-out. So you'll pass him, and that's going to be past the battleship coming back towards the highway, and there's a big area of trees right there. It's shaded. We're going to be right there. We're going to have some in the trees, and it's going to start at that tree line and go to the left. Also, if you have a camper and you need to bring a camper and you want to come out and camp, spend the night, we have camper hookups. Send me a message. You can contact me on Instagram at C10s of the South or C10 Club Louisiana
or
SOC10, C10 Quattro, or Squareheads. That's all me. I got way too many.
That's 5. Kind of ironic, right?
That's my limit. I've tried to make some more and they won't let me. That's enough. But so, if you got any questions, you want to bring a camper, there's no tent camping, just motorhome camper type, pull behind. Let me know. We'll get you set up with that. So, like I said, we'll be under those trees, and then however many we got all that. We're a part of the show, but Craig's kind of pushed us off, which we've asked to be, is separate because they have their own DJ over there. It gets loud. You got some people don't like that. They just like to be chill, laid back. So we got our own little section. Like I said, it's still a show within a show. So you can get awards from both events. So
C10s of the South is within Battle of Bama. Register. How has your registration been today, perspective of numbers? Because I'm assuming your numbers are going to get big at Battle of Bama. So right now, Jeff's thinking there's 100 trucks here. I said there might be like 80. But let's just say, 50 of these guys sign up. How are you looking? Do I need to go beat on some doors and tell them make sure they come see you guys?
Yeah, we've been announcing. Jeff's been getting on the intercom and yelling and doing his thing. But
what does it cost? Sorry, what does it cost to register?
So for the C10 Quattro, it doesn't cost anything. For Battle in Bama, the whole C10s of the South event, you pay $60 and it gets you into both.
So this is really a no-brainer. It's free. You come see them here, which we'll be telling everybody. You hit 4 of the 5, you're going to win a prize. You're going to win a tailgate. The best part about it, the whole thing really, is just that it's just keeping people involved, making sure not only from a marketing perspective that they know what's going on. Hey, you're going to win some prizes. You're going to have some fun. You're going to get to hang out. And you're going to do some C10 truck loving, good people, great times. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. So, like I said, you got any questions, hit me up on social media. I'm on Facebook as well. Nick, last name Tullier, Tullier. I know some of y'all are like, how do you say that? How do you spell that? So Tullier. Look me up on Facebook. Shoot me a message.
Hit me up. I'll put you over there, and we can kind of go from there. I'm just glad we got a little ZZ Top in, and then we got some Led Zeppelin. So changing up the Bon Jovi. I'm going to take you guys out because, Nick, we're at 16 minutes, and these guys are like, holy crap, how much do I got to hear? I'm in California. So C10 Quattro, you hit 4 of the 5. You win a tailgate, or potentially you get in a raffle. Good times, good people, or great people, good times. And we're gonna throw that in there. That's good. I'm gonna put a sticker on the tailgate. That thing looks cool. I did sign it, but I brought some stickers. Jason's got them. I'm taking you guys out. Nick, Melanie, not only are you guys doing this, but you're great people within the scene. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Ronnie. We appreciate what you do.
I'm gonna put this mic in Melanie's face just so she can say thank you too.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Late. Sometimes in a sea of two-wheel drives, you find a four-wheel drive. And this is a thing of beauty. He knows I love this Blazer because I'm always telling him how much I love it. Mike
75, what is it, 75 K5? 1975 K5. So at 1975 K5, you guys are out of Tennessee. You and your son came down. This is your first crawfish cruise in Louisiana, Mississippi. What's your thoughts on not only coming down in the party, but kind of the whole culture that we're lucky to have?
The main reason that I'm here is because last year at the Southeastern Truck Nationals up in Goodlettsville, I was so taken aback that John showed up, John Oro. I just love the fact that he was there. And that introduced me to the fun that I'm missing out on by just staying local, that I need to get out and hit some more of these shows, meet some more people, shake some more hands. You know, today I've met Renee. I thank Jason numerous times for putting this on.
Well, and you brought your son, and it's cool to incorporate what one of the things that I like to say is, I mean, my audience has heard it so many damn times. They're like, all right, we got it, but the trucks are cooler and the trucks are cool and the people are cooler. And now you get exposed. We love these trucks and we're so passionate about them, but then you get to meet the people behind them and the stories, and you're like, all right, life's good, you know, and we get in that rat race at home and life and kids and sports and whatever it may be. And you're like, hey, let's go hang out at a show. So it's pretty cool that you incorporated that with your son. And it's really cool that John did go out to the Southeastern Truck Nationals. That's Brian Ashley's show, which is part of the C10 Quattro. How far was the trip out for you? You guys drove from Tennessee out here?
It was about 450 miles. Took us about 9 hours. We had to make numerous stops for gas, but we weren't in a hurry. We just kind of took our time and made the best of it. Everything went perfectly, no problems. So hopefully, as long as I can make it home all right, we'll be coming to Mobile in a month.
Good. So they'll be at the Battle in Bama, May 3, 4, 5. I think the key that you get a little seat time with you and your son.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're like, all right, put your phone down. And it's pretty crazy to think. I did this random post. I think it was on C10 Talk the other day. It was like, what our kids have no idea what we went through, you know, back in the day, which don't, you know, give me a break. Like the landline, or I had to sit in the main room. But now, you know, you say, hey, put your phone down. And you're staring out, he's staring out the window, you're staring out the window, and you start talking about random stuff that you may not get that time. And over the course of this weekend, you're going to get a lot of good memories, I would assume.
Yes, very much so. And hopefully there'll be many more to come, you know. And this is, you know, seems to be piquing his interest in these old trucks. So, you know, maybe even more better days to come.
Good. So tell us a little bit about not only Tennessee and the scene out there, but what you kind of experienced here at your first crawfish cruising.
Oh, everything's great. I mean, there's tons of great trucks in Tennessee, and there's even more down here, and there are different ones down here. So it's nice to get out and get around to see some different trucks instead of seeing, you know, the trucks in Tennessee are great. Trucks here are great. Yeah. But you know, it's great to see some different ones every once in a while.
Well, you get a little variety. You know, one thing about us in Scottsdale and Phoenix area, we're kind of spoiled, but we end the Good Guys show in November, and then we start it again in the spring, in March. And sometimes when I go to the spring show in March, I feel like, I'm like, dude, this is like just crazy kind of deja vu. It's like the same truck was just parked here 6 months ago, and it is kind of crazy how fast that 6 months goes by. And I was like, I was just here in November post Dino's. So tell us a little bit about your Blazer, how you got it, why you went with a Blazer, you know, what your thoughts are on it.
Well, you know, when I was 14, 15 years old, my dad had a 71 Blazer that it was love at first sight. I mean, that was always the truck, you know, and he sold it right before I turned 16, and I have not let him forget about it yet.
Damn you, Dad.
Yeah. But, you know, my son was getting a little older. I've got a 71, you know, Cheyenne that I'm fixing up at home that I knew was not going to be done by the time my son was long gone. So I had to get something. So I just started looking around for another Blazer to scratch that itch, and, you know, found this one kind of hiding on Craigslist in the middle of nowhere, and picked it up and had it shipped to Tennessee, and kind of, did what I needed to do to it to get it where I want it.
Do you think that the memories, because we talked a little bit about it off air, we get into these projects, we think, okay, my son's 14, 12, 13, 14. You guys listening right now, you're out there, and you're like, I might not get it done until he's 17 or she's 17 or whatever it is, and I want them to have the seat time with me. And then this happens. You're not going to get the truck done. Obviously, if Dad would have let you have that, but you as a good parent, believe it or not, are just trying to get some fun seat time with your kid. Ironically enough, you're getting some good garage time, or at least you potentially have that, to get some garage time in there. But now you got this, and, it sounds like you were more of a 67 to 72 Blazer guy, but now you've got a square body. Yeah. How'd that happen?
Just, 71, 72 Blazers are kind of outrageous right now. I couldn't afford one. As bad as I wanted one, I couldn't. And when I got this, it was, right on the fringe before square bodies got hot. So I lucked out.
So are you a square body guy now? Do you think, you think this is something you'll keep for a long time?
Yeah, I don't get rid of my trucks. I don't, it'd be nice to say sell this and get something else, but once I get them, I keep them. I've got my 71 that I've had, that my dad gave me, my truck that I've had since I was 17. I've got my 80 that I got when he was about 3 months old. My son, who's 20.
Yeah. What's funny is I was getting ready to cuss Dad out, but it sounds like Dad actually hooked you up when you were 17. Oh, yeah. So he sold the Blazer, but he did give you the 71. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't let him forget the Blazer, but yes, I am very thankful. He gave me my first true love,
I just interviewed a guy, and it just posted yesterday, but Justin from Scott's Hot Rods, he came from California. He's out in Tennessee, and he said on the podcast that Tennessee's like a gold mine for C10s. So I said, well, shit, I might have to edit that and not let the audience hear, and then me start getting on Craigslist. But is the scene, or is there a lot of availability of good trucks out there?
There's lots of trucks that are going up for sale, but I'm kind of happy with what I got, so I don't really look at the market very much. I know that's not a good answer for you, but I'm happy with what I've got. I've got a lot of work I need to do to my Blazer. I've got another truck that's just a rolling frame, so I don't pay much attention to what's out there, because I'm glad and I'm good where I'm at.
No, that's a great answer, and I wish I had that answer in my life, because I have more trucks than I could probably ever get done in my lifetime. And at what point do you go crazy because you're thinking about 10 different trucks? I have over 10 trucks. I need to sell some trucks, and it's just like, and then ironically enough, Dr. Phil therapy time, you can't even enjoy maybe one or two because you're so worried about the completion of all these different trucks, and for me, I need to just focus on it. I want to say it was Aaron, but I could get it wrong. Alex. Okay, so Alex is his son. I think he's 21.8 years old, if not 20.9, because we were drinking some barley pops the other day, and I looked at Mike and I was like, well, do you want me to get Alex one? And he said he's not there yet. Alex, it's pretty cool. So my dad died when I was young. We had a Blazer like this when I was a kid. What is it like to just jump in with Dad, hang out, and know that he, as a dad, as a father, as a not only a man who he wants you to experience this. What is that like as a young man in today's digital world?
Well, I love it. I've been going to car shows since I could walk. I actually ended up getting an import as my first car, which my dad was probably shocked by. But I love being able to come out. I don't get to spend as much time with my parents as I'd like to anymore now that I'm off at college. So I've had a really great time this weekend coming out here, and every single time he takes me to a truck show, I want to buy one a little bit more. He's got one at the house, so once I get out of college, probably be fixing that up. But I'm really enjoying getting to spend some time with my dad, and
he's wise beyond his years, really, because I think in today's world, and honestly, if you said you didn't have an import, I might be shocked, because that's just a phase, not a phase that you may never, you may always have an import. But I think that in your genre, your age gap,
people have imports. It's fun, it's cool, it's part of the scene. No different than, you know, your dad's, you know, era. There's, you know, muscle cars or OBS trucks or whatever it is at the time. Right now, if you're a young 20-year-old male, there's a lot of imports in that world. So what's left? I mean, it's a runner, it's a driver. You drove it all the way here. What do you got to do next?
Well, I mean, it looks great. You know, I know all the good angles on it to take some pictures, but you lay on the ground and look at, you know, it's a 40-year-old truck if you look up from the ground. You know, so there's, you know, tons of little things I need to do. It needs all new bushings and, you know, so
it's an old Chevy truck.
It is.
You know the cool thing, Mike? I haven't seen one guy lay on the ground and look underneath your truck the whole weekend. So don't worry about it.
I'm always a little nervous when I come to these things because I'm like, man, am I going to be the tallest truck there? So it's always great to pull into these things to see at least 2 or 3 trucks that are a foot off the ground. But
well, and like you said, one thing about variety and you coming to a different show is a change of scenery. These people are going to like to see this truck just because it's something different. And so if it's off the ground, it's something different. You know, that truck right there, I would have told you 15 years ago, I never wanted to look at another truck ever in my life. For the audience, I'm looking at a 1971-72 red and white two-tone short bed. Looking at it's, you know, 18 in the front, 20 in the back. Kind of a torque thrust style wheel. It's your mecca of 67 to 72 trucks. I love that truck. I will always love that truck. I have an orange and white one like that, but it's good to see all this variety and some square bodies, some pig noses, a little bit of everything, and a nice 75 K5, not jacked up, but you know, a little bit up Blazer.
It's stock height. It's got 2-inch blocks in the back to level it out, but it's stock height.
What are you running? You running 33s then, or 33s? One thing I like really about Mike's Blazer is that he's got the, you know, 15/8 wheels, white wheels, and they look so good on there. This is a clean Blazer. You know, I'm sure as the owner you're going to nitpick it, and you know, but what a fun time, and look back and say, all right, it's not the you know, going to win the best of show, but it's a really nice Blazer, and I can take my family out and have a good time.
Oh yeah. I remember the first time I got it home, took the kids out in it, and we were at a stoplight, and Alex and my daughter Amanda were in the back seat, and they're like, it's like we're in a Lamborghini, because it was snapping necks, I believe, as the kids say. You know, everybody was looking at it. It was
like, I'm the cool dad.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself that. But you know, it's brought a lot of smiles to the family. So
yeah, and that's go ahead.
I got to drive it to prom, and everybody was asking me questions. Every time I take out either this or we've got an 80 square body that I drive every now and then. You know, my car's breaking down or whatever, and every time I take it out, somebody offers me money for it. So it's they draw a lot of attention.
That's so cool to hear too, because it's like he wants to take it to prom. It's not like he got to drive it to prom. He asked you, you accepted, you said yes. He got to take it to prom. His girlfriend's like, this is cool, you know. And to think, I've been there, you know, with your family, and people are honking and waving, rad truck, dude, and you're like, all right, this is really cool. And not only that, is there's a lot of genres, a lot of ages that are going to say rad truck. A 56-year-old is going to say rad truck. A 40-year-old is going to say rad truck. And a 20-year-old is going to say rad truck. You know why? Because it's a rad truck. And nobody has laid underneath this thing all weekend and picked it apart like Mike's thinking that they might be.
Well, you saw it yesterday. You saw what a mess it was yesterday. And, you know, I still had people at, you know, the drive-thrus and at the gas stations telling me how great it was. And I appreciate that. That's nice. But, you know, I know it can be a little nicer. And I felt, you know, I had the ugliest truck in the parking lot last night, so I had to get up early this morning and, you know,
clean her up a little bit.
Clean her up so it looked good. But
Mike said that he washed it before the trip, and then he drove, you know, 9 hours here, and of course she got a little dirty, but she's cleaned up for the show. She looks good. She's a classic. You can never go wrong with a K5 Blazer, especially a full top Blazer. Mike, Alex, thank you guys both for your time today.
Hey, I appreciate. I said it was great to meet Renee and see John again. I loved meeting you and Todd and everybody, and I appreciate you coming out.
Todd, really? Big Fish? Yeah. You had to get Big Fish in there on that?
Well, it was great to talk to.
I do love T-O-double-D.
He had the opportunity to buy this before I did, so I have to thank him for passing it.
Yeah, you're almost like, well, why did you pass it? Why didn't you buy it?
I didn't want to ask him.
Don't ask him. All right, Alex, what are you going to tell? Let's say I have some 20-year-old listener out there. What would you say, like motivational wise, or something about these cool trucks and this? Hey, knucklehead, listen up. Jump in the truck with your dad and go have fun. What do you say to your generation of kids out there?
Hey man, I don't know. I'm into sports cars. I like going fast and stuff. But every time we come out to one of these shows, these trucks are gorgeous. So I coming out to these shows really inspired me to once I got a little extra money, start fixing up my dad's truck. And a good point my dad's been making is that when he was younger, every show car had to be immaculate and everybody would be judged on every detail. But nowadays you come out to these shows and all the trucks are patinaed, and that's really accepted now. So you don't have to have $25,000 to spend on your truck. Just go find one that runs and go crazy with it.
That's a great point. Be acceptant of what we have. These trucks are fun no matter what. Don't stress about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should be running. That's always a bonus. Drive it out to your local show. Have fun. Enjoy the people, enjoy the culture, and enjoy the scene. Mike, Alex, thanks you guys for coming out from Tennessee. 1975 K5, just K5. And you can check it out. And, again, it's been a blast. Thank you guys both for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we got Ernie at 68 underscore C10. And he just told me, I told him I need to go track down Johnny Oro and Renee, the C10 King. And Ernie said, oh, I just talked to Renee for a half hour. I said, Ernie, you didn't talk to Renee. You listened to Renee for a half hour.
You definitely
Because we know. So Ernie's got a 1967 stepper. God, there's a lot of steppers here, Ernie.
There is.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of steppers. Now we know where they're all at. So from the forum, I do remember this. I remember it being one of those things that was on like the front page, and if you made the front page, it was always a hard deal. So Project Underhauling. Yeah. Like, did the guy die or something, and then the wife had the truck? So, Ernie, welcome to C10 Talk. Tell us about the truck, and then we'll talk a little bit about the crawfish.
So we bought the truck from Russ Built, also from the forum, in 2017. Most people know the story. Woman lost her husband. They had 2 trucks worth of parts, and basically some guys from the forum gathered up all those parts, sold what they didn't need, took in the rest of the parts. They got parts for free. A lot of people gave sweat, blood, elbow grease, and basically went through a couple different shops, and Russ finished the truck up. We bought it in 2017, and we've been going through it since. The reason we ended up with the truck is that, unfortunately, Dawn, the woman that they were building the truck from, she passed away in 2014. She had a slew of grandchildren that could use a leg up, so they took the money and they split it between the 9 grandkids, put it in a trust, so that those kids, when they turn 18, they'll have a little nest egg to start with. So actually a pretty cool thing came out of the build for the truck, although there was some tragedy in there. And my son and my son Connor, C10 Punk, on Instagram, have just been spending weekends and every night we can out in the shop, just going through it and trying to make those little improvements that it needs to be his everyday driver.
So you're incorporating C10 Punk in the deal. Connor, how old is Connor?
Connor is 17. He's a junior in high school.
Sounds just like a C10 Punk, because I've got a 16.8 at home, and he's a C10 Punk. So he's got a 66. Shout out to C10 Punk Payson. This is a pretty nice truck. The paint, they did a good job on the paint. Did you follow the build on Project Underhauling and know that you would like it, or how did you fall into it?
So we have had actually several trucks since we were watching Underhauling going on the board. We actually gave some parts to the project. We had made a run up working on a 71 that we had to Dwayne Morgan's shop, Insane Hot Rods, and met up with Russ and gave him some parts. He actually bought some parts from us, and just knew that the truck was out there. My son turned 16, and we saw that the truck was coming up to be finished. So I didn't know what they were going to do with it. I knew that Dawn had passed away. I didn't know what they had decided. So I reached out to Russ, asked him what they're going to do with it. He said, we're going to sell it, and we're going to pool the money into trust for the kids. And I was like, well, I mean, we need a truck. We like the truck. And, you know, what better cause can you give money to? So we jumped on it. And Russ was good enough to get it in, you know, running condition, one pile for us. And then we've just been making improvements since.
I would think that if you, depending on what you paid, and that's between you and Russ, but you wouldn't want to make improvements, but because you and Connor are working on it, it's probably also beneficial that there may be improvements that need to be made, probably small improvements, although you did do a FiTech, so that's a big improvement. How's that journey been, not only with the truck and the buy, but you and Connor?
So the truck, when we got it, was a very classic looking truck. It had white wheels with caps on it, white walls. I really liked it because I do enjoy that stock look. My thought was to keep it looking like that and maybe upgrade the engine, maybe do an LS swap. Connor has been pushing that limit from the word go. So here we are today where we have entropy radiator. We've got FiTech fuel injection. We have a complete QA1 coilover suspension. We've got Willwood brakes. We've got Speedways we bought from Boris up at Street Machinery. And it looks like now we're going to upgrade the interior with some racing style buckets and a harness bar so that we can go do some autocross. So
we or Connor?
Well, Connor. So maybe he'll let Dad make a hot lap or two. Nice. But slowly but surely, Connor has steered me towards, hey, Dad, it's going to be my truck forever. So let's go down the road that I want to go down. And I am now releasing a little bit more of the reins on what we do. My only concern is that we don't do anything to the truck that can't be reversed. So we're going to be able to put the bench seat back in if we want to. It's not going to hinder or modify the body at all, but we're all going to be able to put harnesses in there that are proper and be able to go and make some hot laps at any autocross event. Maybe here at Cruising the Coast they have one that's awesome. You know, maybe we hit a Good Guys. Just be able to have fun with it.
Has Connor been able to drive it to school with friends, to a dance? Because she's a unique truck. She's a hot truck. I can't imagine being 17 and driving, whether this was mine or Dad's, driving this truck.
So this truck is Connor's truck. He drives it every day to school. His mother and I get constant compliments for it from our friends, which of course makes me jealous. I don't get to drive it every day, but he enjoys it. He is a truck kid. He loves it. He calls it his forever truck, and it really has become a part of who he is. And it is a nice truck. But we don't worry about it. He rolls.
Well, the cool thing about that is this came from a family where, you know, he passed away, she passed away, and now that Connor, as a young man, has a 67 stepper, small back window, that he's saying, Dad, give me my damn truck. It's my forever truck. And Ernie, if it was you and you passed away, don't die anytime soon, brother.
No, try not to.
But wouldn't you be proud to think some kid has that truck and he's going to carry on that lineage of that C10? Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It is. I look forward to the day that I can be, you know, maybe sitting on the couch, listening to Connor tell stories to his kids about, you know, shaving rivets off to put the QA1 in it, or learning how to service the AC after we put the Billet Specialties front runner on it. Billet Specialties True Track. All those stories about what we did in the garage, those have been the golden moments over the last year and a half, is that he and I just out in the shop, just jobbing, and he's learning and I'm learning because he brings a whole new, angle to what we do in the garage. He comes with new ideas. And it's been hard being that he is 17 for me in the past to open up to those ideas. But recently, and I'm telling you, Ronnie, it was recent, I just let go. I said, all right, boy, we'll go down your road. We just can't ruin the truck. And so far, the ideas have been fantastic.
Hey, man, you're preaching to the choir. This is therapeutic to me because I got a 16, like I said, 0.8, and he's got an LS already. That motor is tore apart. He's got a 66. He can't wait to get that thing in, so on and so forth. So I just think it's cool that Connor knows that this is his truck and what you guys are going to do with it. I'm looking at it. She's static. It looks like about a 4.6 drop.
It's
QA1.
Yeah, QA1. But honestly, I thought we took a 4.6 off of it, and it's about an inch lower all the way around. The coilovers are at their very lowest setting, so it's more like about a 5.7.
Well, 5.7 looks perfect on these. What are these wheels?
Billet Specialty Speedways.
Billet Specialty Speedways. Now, one of the cool things that's going to happen that Ernie didn't say was that him and Connor, I'm assuming Connor's going to be your co-pilot, or you're going to be Connor's co-pilot, Ernie,
I'm gonna be
is
Connor's
on
co-pilot.
Power Tour this year.
Yes, sir. We're going to do the whole tour. I'm really looking forward to spending that time with him. Also, the time we got between now and then, we got to do a few things to make sure the truck will give us a trouble-free trip. But definitely looking forward to getting him out on the road and meeting some more C10 folks. And actually looking forward to the end of that trip because we're going to go invade Street Machinery after the last day and have a little fun there.
If I give you a kick in the nuts, can you give that to Boris for me?
No.
Damn it, Boris, that was for you. As Ernie was talking, I was peeking underneath the hood to make sure there was an AC compressor because once he said he was going to go on Power Tour, I was wondering if there was an AC compressor, and there in fact is. So that's a good thing. I'll be honest with you, Ernie, I'm jealous. That's like my number one goal, bucket list goal for me and my son for next summer to go on Power Tour. I want to take him on Power Tour. I would love to finish Frito-Lay, which is my tow truck. He probably would love to take his truck, which is called Snowball. That's a lineage truck handed down from great-grandpa to grandpa. But you're making memories.
Absolutely.
And if you can look back at your life and say, I had a C10 and I made memories with my son, a pretty good life.
Absolutely. Being here and watching how the police do their business, they are the commensurate C10 family. And their family is not only their blood, their family is everybody that has shown up today. And showing that to my son and hoping that he can spread that and live his life the same way, I don't think there's a better lesson out there.
Well, you brought up a great point, and I'm glad to kind of get back on track onto the Dead End Garage, Crawfish Cruising with Jason, Little J, Jay. I mean, the family keeps, it just keeps on going. Chucky, you're from Florida, so it's not like you're right here in the backyard. You have a few hours, which is crazy that you're not even that far away, but you guys made a little bit of a trek out here.
Yeah, it was about a 2.5 hour ride.
Where's Connor?
Okay, so Connor he's in 11th grade, so he has school stuff to do. So
slacker Connor.
That's it. He was taking part in a Latin competition. It's their yearly state Latin competition. So he was in Orlando for the last 4 days. And I am sure with the fact that, guys like you, Renee, Shorty's walking around. He is probably kicking himself, but he's also knowing he made the right choice. He's got to get that education. Can't go nowhere without it.
Connor, if you listen to this, Dad's going to make you listen to it. He's right. We ain't going nowhere. Get your education, have fun. And it's cool because my son's a junior as well. So a lot of the things you're saying are definitely ringing true right in my wheelhouse. You and I are dealing with the same little stubborn 17-year-old boys. But good times ahead for sure. You guys made the trip out. Is this your first time for the Crawfish Cruising?
It is my first time for the Crawfish Cruising. I met up with Jason and his whole family at Cruising the Coast this last year. We normally meet up with a bunch of folks that we know from Louisiana, and they all did Power Tour last year, so they weren't here. And, we were looking for some place to land, and we landed with Jason and them, and they just took us in. It's amazing the hospitality that the people, Jason, but everybody that surrounds him. And when I say his family, I'm not just talking about his blood. I'm talking about everybody that surrounds him. They're all fantastic. You can't beat it.
The trucks are cool, but the people are cooler. And Jason and Angela and Little J and Jay and Chucky and the whole crew. And we're here, and I told Jason, and I'm going to tell him when I interview him, but this is kind of like the Get Down of the East. It's definitely going to grow bigger. I don't know that he can even have it here one more year. We're pushing the envelope on capacity. I'm going to pull fire marshal on his ass and tell him that he's over the occupancy for a neighborhood out in the woods of Mississippi. But good people, having a good time, and just enjoying our trucks. Ernie, thank you so much for your time. Connor, I hope you kicked ass in that Latin competition, and I hope to meet you someday.
Ronnie, I just want to thank you for what you do for the C10 community. You're an ambassador, and putting out the podcast and spreading the word, it's only going to bring great things. So definitely a thank you to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It means a lot. The spoken word of the people. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Ernie.
C10 Nation. For over 16 years, truck builders continue to choose AccuAir suspension for their air management solution. Today, that choice gets even easier. Endo CVT by AccuAir. CVT. Compressor, valve, tank. Takes all of the components that previously needed to be pieced together and integrates them into an all-in-one, easy-to-install unit. That means an internal compressor with a built-in air dryer, smart sensors to keep everything running smooth, valves in the tank caps, and a plug-and-play harness. The best part? Silent. Library silent. No more buzzing compressors. Finally. Are you ready to choose the latest and greatest in air management? See it and try to hear it for yourself by heading to endo.accuair.com. That's endo, ENDO.accuair.com. Classic Performance Products, CPP, has a few new products out. Let's start with their new HydroStop Street Beast hydraulic assist systems. CPP's HydroStop Street Beast is a direct fit, high-performance hydraulic brake assist system that works great when running a performance engine setup and there is not enough vacuum produced to operate a traditional booster. Simply plumb into your power steering system and share the fluid reservoir with your power steering pump to your high-performance brake system. Assembled with all new parts, this unit puts out an amazing 1800 PSI at the wheels. How about their new 14-inch big brake kits? CPP now offers a 6-piston, 14-inch big brake system for your Chevy truck, featuring 2-piece pre-assembled drilled, slotted, and zinc-coated rotors, 6-piston billet aluminum calipers with DOT-compliant dust and weather seals, premium stainless hardware, and braided stainless brake hoses. These brakes work with their modular and Corvette-style spindles. Remember, use C10 Talk at checkout and save 10% off your order. Damn, son, 10%? www.classicperform.com.
We're not really wrapping things up, but before these two get away from me, I grabbed them, and I had to track down one. Once I found one, I got one to sit still, and then I had to go find the other one. So if you think about Mount Rushmore for C10s, I've got 2 of the 4. I'm going to come up with the other 2. One of them's Dino. We'll come up with another one. Joe Yezi, Square Body Syndicate. So that's the Mount Rushmore of C10s. So first and foremost, make sure I'm recording, and I am. Congratulations, 20 years C10 Club began California. The man, the myth, the legend, Rene Martinez, C10 Club, C10 King, and then the John Father, El Presidente, John Oro. The backbone, like a big-ass, meaty backbone. Meaty with camouflage shorts on. And New Balance, Oro New Balances. Oh, shit, Renee's showing them. Hey, the one, those, Renee has the 100s. Oro has the 1000s.
I will get there one day.
Okay, you and I, John, I'm pointing to John. You and I have been to Texas a few times. This is easily the furthest we've been for what is a C10 Club, a C10 event, furthest east. So give the audience a little bit of perspective of the cruise in and the way Mississippi's doing it and the fun that you are having today.
Well, the hospitality, of any event that, I don't want to say it's a C10 Club event because it's a dead-end garage event and take something away from him. But, he's part of us, and it's just amazing. It's like wherever you go, whether it's Central Cali, whether it's Phoenix, Arizona, whether it's Waxahachie, Texas, the hospitality, the people are there, man. You build it and they will come. And Jason's been doing this, I think it's going on 3 years. And unfortunately, we can't make every event, but I'm very glad I made this one, and it's very much worthwhile. It's just down home, like they treat you like family.
One of the guys I just interviewed from Tennessee, I said, this is your event? You came out to this event? Why'd you come out to this event? And he said, John Oro came to Tennessee last year to the Southeastern Truck Nationals, and that motivated me and inspired me to make sure I go to more events. If John Oro, a.k.a. the El Presidente, I don't know if he said that, but I'm going to say that he said that. If he can come to all these events, why can't I spread my wings and go to more events? And now you're here at the Dead End Crawfish, and I believe soon to be Fish Fry. We're literally at this pivotal point where the crawfish is ending, and I think they're going to start cooking fish. Pretty rad.
Absolutely awesome. I did not know that. I did not know. I met this gentleman. I remember baptizing his Blazer. Yeah, and beautiful Blazer. I just loved it. This time introduced me to his boy. Boy's all into it, and yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, I'm floored.
Well, believe it. You're the El Presidente. Now, I also interviewed the last guy I just talked to. He told me, going back to the forum, Project Underhauling, which I remember, this happening on the forum back in the day. And he said, hey, Ronnie, I just got the opportunity to talk to Renee for like 30 minutes. And I said, Ernie, you don't have to lie to me. Just because we just met, you didn't talk to Renee for 30 minutes. You listened to Renee for 30 minutes. And he said, you're right. Renee.
Hey, Ronnie. I know I talk too much. Remember what my wife says? Why do you interrupt this guy, meaning you, Ronnie, whenever we get together and talk? You never let him say anything. All you do is interrupt him, and you never let him get a word in. Hey, I got to say real quick, Ronnie, it's not true. I let you talk.
Hey, they don't.
By the way,
they don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you guys. So, Renee, how do you convey to the C10 Nation, the C10 Club worldwide, how much fun? And we just lucked out. The weather yesterday, the go-kart racing, the weather today. We're underneath this huge underground garage thing. We're eating crawfish, and we're drinking alcoholic beverages. We're having a good time.
Not to interrupt you, I can sum it up in one word, and it's true: Southern hospitality. Southern hospitality. No, it's one word now. I changed it. No, Southern hospitality. It's true. It's here. We're living it. All these people coming up. Oh, man. And again, I'm doing all the talking, checking out their trucks, giving them ideas, how they can flip it, make a few bucks. It's great. It's great.
Hey, the question is, are they asking you how they can do it, or are you just telling?
It doesn't matter, Ronnie. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whether they want my opinion or not, I'm going to give it to them.
This is all true. I'm asking your opinion on the event, so that's true. Only on the event, not on how to make money on selling different stuff. But
it's now changed from the C10 King to the C10 Consignment King.
There's a new hashtag. It's C10_consignment_king. Yeah, he's worldwide. He can flip your truck if you're in Mississippi, Louisiana.
C10 Dream Maker. I call it the Dream Maker. One word, Dream Maker.
One word.
Here we go again.
Dream Maker. One word. They all go together.
I make your C10 dreams come true.
We got more hashtags. Hey, C10 King approved. So,
bartender, give me another shot.
How many? I mean, one guy said 100. I'm going to say 80. I don't think there's 100 trucks here. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot of people, and although it's 2 words, you actually nailed it. It is C10 hospitality. We had a blast last night. These freaking go-karts, I don't know where you are right now, C10 Nation, listening, but in Arizona, there's in California, there's electric go-karts that have bumpers. These were gas, and there was not one bumper. I went through the freaking infield one time, and I mean, I'm like cross country, like Cole Trickle, and Oro was right there with me. So explain to the C10 Nation the go-karts, Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely no restrictions on those things. They would never allow those things in California. I mean, unbelievably fast, and had the time of my life. You know, I'm getting ready to go in Monday and claiming a workers' comp, but I got to make it into work Monday. I'm hurting, but I'm smiling, man. I haven't had that much fun without putting on a condom.
For sure. I tell you what, I feel like we were going, there was like this high side, and we would come down, and I felt like we were going 65 miles an hour. The go-karts are shaking, and you would hit this big curve, and we were just hauling ass. And the cool thing was John, at one point, it was kind of wet in a corner, and John, whether he meant to or not, he just went right through this freaking puddle, and then we all knew, all right, these go-karts, they hook up. You can the faster you go, the harder they grab, and speaking of condoms, it was a good time. So, Renee, you were more of a spectator at that point. I mean, explain to the world.
Height limit, I heard there was a height limit, so I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I just stayed in the background. You know.
You met the height limit. No. You met the height limit. It was just I heard that they were going to breathalyze everybody, so that might be something that some of the guys would have got kicked out. But fun go-karts, a fun weekend. One thing that I'm going to hit up Jason pretty big on is I feel like this is kind of, you did it at your house in Atwater. You've had the C10 Club barbecue. You stopped it. I don't know why, but nonetheless, you stopped it. Dino kept it going. That's why he's number one on the mountain. And this is literally the East Coast version of the get down, the family affair, the backyard barbecue. But there's 50 plus C10s, and we're all having a good time. And there's alcoholic beverages.
Oh, this is fantastic. What they've done over here, I was very fortunate because I was coming this way anyway on vacation. My vacation starts Monday. New Orleans has always been on my bucket list. We planned a vacation, and about 3-4 months ago, found out about what's happening over here. Told the wife, hey, let's start a vacation 3 days earlier, and let's drive 80, 90 miles to come over and be part of this, and it's the best thing we did. I could go back to California tomorrow and have just to tell everybody I had a great vacation, because this just really totally was such a good time. I felt like my vacation was fulfilled. This is excellent. Oh, the crawfish. You know what? They never brought any tortillas out. I wanted to put about 4 or 5 in a tortilla and eat them. It might have been a little crunchy, but I'll tell you what, pull the head off, suck it, and eat the tail. Who doesn't like a little bit of tail and some head? Oh, did I say that? Sorry, Ronnie.
You didn't interrupt me. That's okay. You could say it. A little tail, a little head. You bring up a great point. I think we need some flour or corn tortillas in the corner, kind of like brothers. Speaking of brothers, although I didn't really mean that to happen, Father's Day, you're involved with that. Tell the world what's going on. Well, you kind of are.
Yeah, I don't say I'm involved with it, but obviously we always going to support the brothers.
Hey, time out. You're always involved. Whether you're not the promoter, the C10 Club has now become C10 Intervention. You're always involved.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up C10 Intervention. I mean, the brothers been around for been around for a lot longer than 20 years. And we reached out to them. They supported us. We've supported them. And this year it's on Father's Day. I believe it's June 15th, 16th. Okay, June 16th, 2019. They just announced the location. I believe it's called Oak Canyon. Don't quote me on that park. But it is going to be about 15 miles south of where it was before. So just think 15 miles south of the original location in Yorba Linda and 15 miles east of Disneyland. So Silverado, California. But we'll be there, and I know it's a tough day for a lot of guys because it's Father's Day, but there's other shows. I mean, I think one of the Grand National Roaster shows is on Father's Day. They do another one locally there, but for the C10s, we'll be there.
I think the point of it is it makes me think of the kind of like what you guys do in the back corner there, the carne asada, just the family barbecue. This is the family crawfish.
It's all here. It's all here, all that element.
Did you just interrupt me?
Actually, this time I didn't. I was waiting for you. You put the microphone in my face, and I wasn't even ready, believe it or not, this time. No, but it's all here. All the elements are all here. The family atmosphere, it's all here. It's all here. I find myself saying you all, and that's pretty cool. I never said that before, you all. But
can y'all get me a tortilla? Because these little crawfish, it's amazing. Jason and the Dead End crew are working their butt off. It's one of those things where I feel like they probably had a great idea, a family atmosphere. Now it's probably more work for them than they ever thought, but hey, they got themselves into it. We're enjoying it. We're having fun. He's got a He's got a shop in the back, and there's alcohol. They're constantly going through the evolution of I guess boiling or cooking the crawfish.
Yeah, they got 2 batches going on. So one comes out. You know, the guys go through one table, and they got 2 full-on tables just going through it, where the guys, it'll seat, or you'll stand. You got about 8 people per table, so 8 people at a time go one table, 8 people on the other table, and it just switches around. Absolutely. I mean, this is their version of tacos. I mean, it's amazing. It's awesome. It really is.
What about, like, from California? I mean, he's got a spread here. I feel like he's got, like, 3+ acres. He's got a shop in the background. He's got this big old house, and we're all under, like, for Arizona, it would be a carport, but it's like a 1,500 square foot canopy carport, and his house is on top, and so we're kind of under at the ground level, but we're all in the shaded fan area eating crawfish, drinking alcoholic beverages.
This is like being in the back of Twin Peaks. This is the setup they have at Twin Peaks, only bigger and more open air. I mean,
and less titties.
Well, you know, Mark Ramirez.
Maybe the same amount of titties. They're not hanging out.
You know, you do have Mark Ramirez and Tony Ortega. You know, if that fancies you, but yeah, they're here.
Hey, April Fool's is over. We'll talk about that later.
Ronnie, you forgot to mention the trucks. The trucks. What is so cool, there are so many trucks that I've only seen them in pictures or I've never seen before. I mean, there are some awesome trucks. And I'm not saying that because not everyone has a fancy paint job. They don't have to be like that. And that was, you know, one thing about the C10 Club. Come as you are. There's a couple of projects here, and everybody likes to look at projects. I mean, and again, listening to other people tell their stories, how they came across them, how they wanted this pickup, how they found it in the neighbor's yard, how their grandfather had it, their uncles, how they passed it on from father to son, the whole bit. All these stories are so freaking cool.
So let's talk about, I agree. Let's talk about this story. I mean, go back 20 years ago. Again, congratulations. 20 years. Happy birthday, C10 Club. To think that it really is C10 Club worldwide now. I mean, to think about that time where your sister-in-law made that hat and your wife said, go ahead and buy that truck and do this. And now you have the C10 Club. No rules, no dues. Have fun. Good people. Having great times. To 20 years ahead, and to think now where there's a C10 Club Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Arizona, Colorado. People are calling Oro, and they're saying, I want to be part of the C10 Club.
Wonderful. Who would have thought? I mean, 20 years ago, our wildest dreams, it started as a joke, and I was telling that story earlier, how I would fold my arms like John back then. Yeah, we're part of the C10 Club. You probably heard of us. And we're snickering, just, you know, trying to be kind of funny. And look what it turned into.
It's huge. And you see it every day. People reaching out to you, asking John, I'm looking at John Oro, hey, how do I get involved? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do you keep it all straight? I mean, it's crazy to think where you are 20 years, you know, looking back.
And just to kind of say something on that, I mean, Renee and them had this thing going, Kevin, Ace, these guys, 10 years before I got involved. I came in just probably at the right time. You know, these guys come in, they say, hey, man, you're from Southern California. You should come hang out, barbecue with us. It was actually Renee's nephew, Bobby. And he said, hey, man, come. You got a blazer. Come hang out with my uncles. They're cool. We all hang out at the Brothers show. And that's exactly why, you know, where we met. So, you know, from then on, started going to Dino's. Some of the guys wanted to say, hey, man, how do we get this going? And I reached out back to these guys. And then the old dogs are telling me, man, go ahead, do your thing, man. Just bring them on. I go, yeah, but now Arizona wants to get involved. People ask, do it. You take it from here. You do what you want. Renee's always backed me up. And, you know, we didn't have to build it. It was just waiting to happen. I mean, I can't really take credit for building something when it was already there, man. It's just, I just happen to be kind of like the hub of putting that stuff together. And I like it. You know, I'm a social butterfly. I like to get out there and talk to the people. And, man, it's amazing. I mean.
Have you had the chance to baptize anybody's trucks while you've been here?
I did a couple. Yeah, I did a couple. And did a couple of little bottle caps. Some of the guys don't like the stickers on their trucks. So I made this little batch of bottle caps with the actual C10 Club logo imprinted on it, and they're digging that stuff. And yeah, no, you get. I don't like to do any. I won't do any truck just on my own. Not that I want them to ask me, but it's just their truck, it's their thing. But yeah, it feels good, and people come up and say, "Hey, man, would you mind?" Absolutely not. Absolutely, a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about. You guys out there, listening, get out, get your truck done. Doesn't have to be perfect. Attend the show, meet the people, have fun. Two of the top best in the business right here, Johnny Oro, Renee Martinez, C10 King, C10 Club. Thank you guys both.
Thank everybody out there, man. Appreciate your guys' support.
Ronnie, you've done it again. Hey, thank you very much. Again, I am so glad I came out here. If you guys ever get the chance, come out to one of these. Jason, man, awesome. His wife, Angela, again. And that's another thing. It's the women behind everybody here that support us. My wife, she is my biggest backer, and I'm lucky to have her. Jason's wife, Angela's the same way. A lot of us have wives. Ronnie, your wife, John, we're blessed men. And the trucks are cool, the people are cooler, and the wives are pretty damn cool themselves. Take it away, Ronnie. Thank you.
That's a new bumper sticker. That's a new C10 Club shirt that will debut at Brothers Truck Show 2020. The trucks are cool, the people are cooler, and the wives, they're even cooler. I'm going to edit that. All right. Thank you guys both. Late. Crawfish Cruising, 3rd annual. The best way to ice break this, Jason, is one of the most important things I learned about eating crawfish. Your boy, your homie, Chico, told me, after you eat the crawfish, make sure you wash your hands because you don't want to get the crawfish juice on your ding-ding. So every time I go to the bathroom, at least after I eat crawfish, I wash, then go to the bathroom, then wash again.
Good point.
So that's probably one of the life lessons I've learned. But I think, honestly, the coolest thing I've learned is just good people, good times, and you guys are killing it. You've created a family atmosphere that's probably turned into something that's going to be hard to control. What's your thoughts on the 3rd annual Crawfish Cruising Dead End Garage?
I guess the best word to describe that is I'm very humbled. Humbled that all the people that came here from all kind of everywhere you can imagine. I mean, you had California people, Arizona, Nebraska, Tennessee. It just humbles me for the people that come that far away to see this kind of backyard. It's basically just a backyard thing that's just grown what it is today. So I think I had Joe County did a count halfway through, so they may have some leave and go, and it's about 60 trucks ended up showing up. But as a amount of people, I couldn't guess how many people was here. But I hope everybody left with a good taste of the South, a good taste of some good old Southern hospitality, and what family and friends is all about.
Oh, you nailed it. I jokingly told Jason numerous times, and along with other people, that this is kind of the get down of the South, the get down of the East. I mean, I know Dino continues to strive to keep his show small or give it that backyard barbecue feeling. I'm honored, and I value that I was here at number 3 because this will get bigger. And to know that you came to the show when it was in your yard, it was, it's one thing to go into a man's house and a man's yard and a man's shop and be invited, and you got a good thing going here. It's funny. Somebody else said it. The truck or the truck show is secondary to what we're doing with the people and the food and the ambiance and the experience. And very rarely do the trucks play second fiddle in our life.
I agree totally. And then we did a little bit of a spin. I think that worked out good. I rolled the dice last night to see about the go-kart races. So that's something I wanted to try to get some camaraderie together, a little bit of challenge in between the groups, and I think it paid off. The weather was real sketchy. So I think we had a good turnout for the go-karts last night, and it really looks like we even had some feedback from some other guys that we may do this again in a couple months or however it works out, to where we could share this again with the people. It was awesome.
If you do the go-kart or whatever you want to look at, the kart racing again, it's cheating, because I hope you do it for every year for the crawfish cruising, because I can't wait to come back. And although Chase already cheated, I mean, the guy is like a kart racing. We're all driving somewhat stock, like generic gasoline-powered go-karts, and this dude Chase, who, by the way, has his own helmet, won the award. He got the Dead End 5 Hundo Piston Cup. He won the award. He got first place. He's flying by me in a generic go-kart, but it was fun. We got mud. Nobody got hurt. We might have made them mad a little bit, which even adds to it. And that's really what it's all about.
I totally agree. And to be honest with you, I didn't know Chase's background, whether or not what he did. I did see him come up with a helmet, but Joe also come up with a helmet. Joe at Joe Cool Customs actually built the trophy for us. It's got a pretty cool history behind it. His dad, the plaque that the trophy's on, is something that his dad's got. It's like 60 years old, the plaque is. It actually has on the bottom side of it a phone number for where it was, 2 digits for the phone number. So it's got a little bit of a story behind it, and I hope that carries forward. Joe was able to help carry that. He explained the trophy thing to Chase, and I think he appreciated that a lot.
Well, and Chase did allude to he's been sitting in race car, go-karts since he was 8 years old. So pretty cool, experience for all of us. So my wife and I come out, Autumn, we come out, and this morning we leave the hotel. Jason gave us his little 80 square body. It's a cherry. It's a cream puff. And we're headed here. Like, he says, hey, it starts at 10. We leave at like 9:30. Oh, we'll get there at 10. We start driving, and I'm like, babe, we should probably go cruise a little bit. And we did. The cool thing about this for the audience, the C10 Nation, truck world of all over, wherever, whoever's listening, just get out and experience different cultures, because I'll tell you what, I'm stuck in Phoenix, Arizona, and you and Angela have come out for years and supported Brothers, Dinos, and we get kind of like pigeonholed into that world, and to come out here and just see the green, the trees, the crawfish, the fish fry, everything that you guys have going on. We're all in the United States. We're all part of the C10 Nation. We're all part of the Dead End crew. We're all part of all that. But there's a lot of differences, and it's really cool to experience the change.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what we'd like to see, y'all experience some of the different cultures here, and we hope that's what the people that came from far gets to experience, that kind of thing. It is a perfect time of the year for all the greenery to come out. The trees is just coming back from the winter, and I mean, I to kind of set the mood for people that hasn't been here. We live on a dead end street in a big neighborhood. We all of our neighbors opened up their doors to us. We actually grew into some of my neighbors' yards where they allowed us to park in their front yards. We shuttled people down the road to some other places to kind of get the regular cars that people drove here away from here, to kind of make it more of a C10 truck community here. We invited all my neighborhood come over here in different ways and fashion, and they enjoyed it as well. So I think it was well received, and I mean, we're going to still go into the night. We're going to kick it off again with some fish fry, good old Southern style.
It truly is. It's the C10 Nation colliding with really the family atmosphere and the neighborhood atmosphere, and the C10 trucks. There's at least 60. I mean, plus or minus, but I'm saying 60 trucks in a house, in a yard, in a cul-de-sac, in a dead end. I mean, Imagine that. And we had to get on a golf cart to go ride to go get something out of another car because you have to go so far to get back to get to where you need to be. And it's a good problem to have. But the biggest thing is the culture. Now, for you, Jason, I can only imagine the third year. What is your thoughts on or challenges when you think about 2020, 2021, 2022? Is this thing, be careful what you wish for.
I totally agree. So I think I do want to do it at least one more time here because it's more personable and just deal with it. We can still go down the street with the trucks. We could support that as far as the cooking part here. And what's hard for us is that we never know the magnitude of people to expect. I had no idea going in this how many people was going to arrive here or how many trucks was go. So we just spitballed it a little bit and planned for it. My wife, I got to give it credit to my wife. She did a tremendous job. Prep work prior to this. I mean, she's fixing to pull out now potato salad and coleslaw, everything to go with the fish. So it's a whole nother round two fixing to go out. You know, some of the people had to leave, hey, everybody's got things to do, but I appreciate the people that are staying. We're going to do it again. And as much as we want to make sure the people that traveled afar have a full experience of this whenever they came.
Well, and we're getting a great experience, something that we'll remember forever. The other thing is Jason's brother, Jason's mom, Jason's dad, Jason's wife, Jason's daughter, Jason's son, Jason's grandkids. They're here. This is a family atmosphere. So when you're sitting back and you're listening to C10 Talk and you're thinking about it, it's a remarkable thing that, when you think about trucks and family, he's got it right here. And I think at minimum one more year here to get that experience. And then, like Dino, you're going to have to start saying, okay, who's coming? Pre-register so I can get ready, because I could see the fifth year you potentially, I hope you don't have to. I hope you can figure out how to stack them all the way down to Chico's house. But we have to be honest, and we have to say that if we're at 60 this year or 75, then it's going to be at 100 next year. And then, from there, it'll be 150 and 200 and 300. And we've talked about Dino's. You've been out to the Get Down. It's turned into, 500, 700 trucks. And you're like, damn, son, where are all these trucks coming from? But people, it's kind of like, corny, but if you build it, they will come. And the C10 Nation will respond. And why not? Because it's cool trucks and great people, and we're having a blast.
I totally agree, and I want it to stay here as much as I can because it is a good family atmosphere. One thing that we are going to do, we're going to kind of ask people, or that was the core group here. We're going to look back at what we could have done differently and jot some notes down. So when it comes time to next year, we can fine tune this a little bit, streamline some things. I mean, I can't say enough for my wife's cousin Tommy Dimitri and his group that did the jambalaya. When people from Louisiana can say, "Damn, that's the best jambalaya I've ever ate," and it's not something out the box. It's something over there. We got Short Dog he's over there. They got him schooling him on some jambalaya right now. He's stirring the pot out there right now. So he's getting a little schooling of some down south, good old Southern hospitality.
What about Keith, the old ornery guy cooking some of this crawfish? I met Keith. I was like, hey, I want to video you making this crawfish. And he's like, breaking bread. They got a can of asparagus. And I got, and you're like, all right, dude, just tell me about the crawfish. But you got an old salty dog cooking your crawfish here.
Yeah, so we actually had Keith from he's a retired fireman, so that's very ironic. And then we also my son Jason, he works at an engineering firm. He's got a good buddy of him that won the crawfish cook-off in Biloxi last year, and he came out to cook too. So it was a little bit of a give and take there on as we went with the crawfish. So the people got a chance to see a variety of how two different styles of crawfish can be cooked and how the flavors of just what a little bit of tweaking can do. So I think it went over well.
And so for the audience, just to kind of give you, there's pictures and so on and so forth, but the bottom line is you've got 2 pots being cooked of crawfish. 50 pounds, just say a lot of crawfish. They cook it, they boil it. Keith told me 15 minutes. There's produce in there for flavor. There's hot sauce and seasoning and onions and garlic. And then after it's done, they walk over to a 4x8 sheet of plywood that's been laminated with little sides and 2 holes cut out of it. So there's 2 55-gallon, kind of drum waste baskets underneath. And then once they pour it on this 4x8 sheet of wood, everybody's standing around and you're just waiting to pill, suck, pull, and eat. And it's a lot of work, but it's all about the experience. So you get a little bit of morsel of meat, and you're just eating and having fun. And there's potatoes and onions and garlic and asparagus and oranges and grapefruits and all kinds of cool shit in there. And then they have the jambalaya, which is kind of a spicy sausage rice off to the side. And he's right. His wife, Angela, we got a not a margarita, but we got a Bloody Mary bar. We got whiskey, we got Coke, we got beer. You really have everything. And you guys are kind of fronting the whole thing.
Yeah, we don't ask for nothing. There's no registration fee here. Let's just come here and have a good time. That's all we ask for.
Well, we appreciate your generosity, your gratitude of having everybody here, and that's what makes this thing the Dead End Garage, absolute crawfish cruising, East Coast Southern hospitality for us, and for me coming from Arizona. One thing that I looked at and I said, listen, I told my wife, I'm like, we have to go. We got to go. You guys are coming out to see us. We got to support back. And it's one of those things where life's going fast. It's going, there's always something. But I'm so thankful that we did, because to experience this, to experience the culture, to experience the people, it's what it's all about.
I agree. I appreciate that totally. You just don't know how much I appreciate all the people coming from afar.
You guys, if you can, and you can make it 2020, the 4th annual Dead End Garage Crawfish Cruising, look at first weekend of April, and it might be the last one at the house. So, you'll hear from me about it. I'll be booking my ticket, because tradition is what tradition was. And I tell you what, it's one of those things where you can bring the whole family, you can hang out. Jason and Angela, I'll tell her, she'll get a free hug or 2. But thank you guys for what you do.
I appreciate it, too. Thank you.
C10 Nation, Dead End Garage, the Dead End Crew, the Deadheads, out.